What's up, everyone? It's Gavin or Tweek.
I saw no. Okay, I was looking good. I swear I saw Has looking and smiling, so I couldn't even. What's good? It's Pinker Marcus. What's up? What's up?
What's up? It's Charles or Chuck. I saw that grin, man. It was so funny.
It's Hazmatt. I wasn't doing anything, by the way, chat. I was off camera minding my own damn business. And Gavin laughed. We didn't. One time we had one.
It's because I always look at Marcus because he's next.
Oh, he was looking at me.
I'm just nervous about what happens after I introduce myself.
What the heck? Well, we got I think we're gonna be careful what you wish for type situation on this podcast because we were like, damn, we're not gonna have anything to talk about in the next 2 weeks on this podcast. However, in the last 5 days, there's been a lot of developments, specifically in ult, but obviously across Melee too. And it's kind of crazy to say that the least controversial thing we're going to be talking about today in the Smash community is a community tier list. Is that what it was? Like a voted upon tier list. So
Not
we got
community, like top 100 players.
Yeah, we got that. We're talking about it a little bit. We're obviously going to talk about Steve a little bit, and then we're obviously going to talk about BTS, some tier 1 org stuff, and all that. So pass it around here, get it started. Gavin, let's just jump right in. I'll toss it right to you. Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got some shit on your mind.
Yeah. I've been over the last few days. I've been thinking how I wanted to start the podcast because, like, I don't know. I take Smash really seriously, and I care about Smash a lot. I care about playing the game a lot, and there's a lot going on for me within my life and the community in general. And obviously, I think Smash is at a really low point right now. BTS is shutting down. Ultimate Summit 6 is going to be the final thing. A lot of players are losing their sponsorships, including myself, which just got announced as we're recording this. Shouts to EE for EE was like hinting at like, oh, there's gonna be more. I don't think EE did a good job with it. It was very clear who he was talking about. But yeah, it's tough. But mainly what I want to say how grateful I am to the community and anyone who's helped me be able to do this as a living. I love playing this game. I love, competition, trying to, the self-mastery aspect of it. I love playing all the characters. I love how much support I've gotten over the years. I love everyone that helps with this podcast. Like, just thank you to everyone that has made this possible over the years. And I think it's really important to say this because we're at such a low point and it might get worse or something. So I just want to say, like, it has been fantastic. I love competing. I'm kind of rambling and repeating myself, but I just wanted to get that across. Like, I just wanted to tell TSM, the Smash community, everyone with the podcast, my stream and YouTube, everyone that supports me, like, thank you very much. Like, everyone. Just gonna keep trying my best,
Yeah, man. It's a hard time right now. And
Yeah.
BTS was truly one of the pillar stones of the community. They've been with Smash for quite a long time. Thinking back all the way to the first Smash Summit, they mainly started with Melee and then they pivoted into Ultimate as well. They've helped a lot of other gaming communities. So BTS has done so much to really push the Smash community forward and, is really one of the foundation points of the community. So this is a very large hit, but it's we've been here before, and everyone in this podcast has been with the Smash community for a really, really long time. And I think for us, the reason why it hits so hard is just the well-being of the people on the team, right? Like BTS as a company, the employees, like we want to see them, pivot out of this or transition out of this and, still be able to find jobs and take care of themselves and all that stuff. So, and I respect LD's decision for doing this right here and right now to give all the employees a good amount of grievance so they can transition and stuff. That, I mean, they could have risked it, right? They could have tried to keep making it work, but LD just putting all of the employees first, amazing decision on their end, right? So I really respect that decision. It does suck, but at the end of the day, as long as everyone's taken care of, that's the main thing. And the big thing I want to point out is we've been in this situation before, thinking back, 8 years ago, down 2015 era, we didn't have all these crazy big sponsors. Tier 1 orgs weren't picking up Smash players back in 2015, right? So we've been in this situation before, and our community's love for the game has carried us to this point. And it does feel like we're taking steps backwards, and not some, but a lot of unfortunate stuff has happened. But I do truly believe we can bounce back, because our community is large and our community's passion is overwhelming how much we love this game, to the point where it kind of scratched the surface of a tier 1 esports. I wouldn't say it got to be a tier 1 esports, but there was tier 1 esports team picking up Smash players. We were kind of like scratching at that surface. So I do think we can get to that point again, and we just have to keep pushing forward. This game is fucking amazing. It's my favorite game by far. And I think when you watch the players compete and you listen to the commentators talk about the game, it's very clear that that's the case, right?
Yeah. And yeah, couple thoughts that I have here going into this. First one is shouts to BTS. That was the first one, because that was fucking rough. That was a rough day yesterday. Obviously, just the precursor to today as well, with the news about Gavin. The thing about it too, and I have so much to say about BTS and all this other shit, but the thing I'll say is we have been here before several times, facing a loss as a community, right? Facing a really tough time, facing hard, uncertain times ahead. The thing is, as long as you love and keep playing your game, and keep watching, keep commentating, keep, aspirating to do better, you'll do it. The other thing, it felt so shitty. Since that BTS announcement, what did that happen at 2 p.m. yesterday or some shit? Sometime in the afternoon yesterday.
Right.
That happened. And then the TSM news, and everything just felt so shitty and down. Oh, the Leo news too, obviously. Silver Lining Steve got banned, so that was cool. But everything else, everyone getting dropped, everything else happening, everything felt so shitty and out of control and just spiraling. And it was almost impossible to not feel really bad about it again. But dude, I hopped into Gavin's stream, I hopped into Tweek's stream, and I heard the music on Smashville, and I heard the sound effects of it was Sephiroth versus Wolf, I think, and just watching some sick gameplay. I was like, fuck, I love this fucking game, man. It's so good. It's so good. I love it so much. And Melee, obviously they feel the same way, if not even stronger, because they've been doing it for so long. We've jumped across a couple different titles, but I love this series so much. And it feels like Doom, and it's a different type of Doom, in my opinion, because not only are we experiencing severe loss with BTS and Tier 1 orgs kind of stepping away temporarily or for however long, but also seeing things like Capcom Cup and seeing how well Street Fighter's doing right now and how well Project L is going to be doing and what the potential is for other esports. A lot of people are saying, I'm going to jump ship, and I was saying, no, you're not. First off, no, you're not. That's how I feel. If you're a Smash player, you're a Smash player at heart. You're always going to be playing Smash and thinking about it, at least be watching. Second off, maybe some people will make the jump. I know obviously I'm going to play a little bit, but nothing's ever going to... I think we all agree. We all love other games. We all play a lot of other games and pay attention to their scenes and care about them. Nothing's like Smash, though. It just isn't. It just truly isn't. So I think right now we're in the ground zero phase. Literally we're one day away from day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever it is by the time the podcast comes out. And we're going to have to just live in this shitty feeling for X amount of time before things start to feel better and start to come back. And as the economy bounces back, bigger picture stuff, not even just esports, but as the economy bounces back and opportunities come back, we'll find a way. But Smash community always finds a way. It does. We're like cockroaches, man. You can stomp out a couple of us, but you can't get rid of everyone. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to die forever. We'll figure it out. And there's always adjustments too, because you got to think about it. At one point, there was a before time, before BTS, before Summit. That happened and that existed, and the scene was fun and it was great. Then BTS got added and it felt really good and felt amazing. And I got to give them so much love, man, because they brought a unique tournament format to us, and not to mention probably the most entertaining tournament of the year, twice a year, right? Or at least twice a year. They bring Summits were my favorite viewer experience, my favorite commentator experience, everything, man. Incredible tournament, unique tournament experience. And they hired people in the Smash community. They did a grassroots hiring route and brought people up, people who work with or work for Lud now, people who moved on and done other things in other esports, working for chess, just taking gambles on people in our scene and really having it work out. So I will truly fucking miss them a lot, because that shit hurt yesterday. All the employees that I still know that work there or did work there before, shout outs to them, man, because they were fucking amazing. Everybody I work with at BTS was great, truly. So fucking sucks.
It's not a 10.
10 out of 10.
Time for me
Marcus?
to be Mr. Doom guy.
Hit it.
The old doomer. Everybody's being all positive. There's always one out there that's like, dude,
Well,
it's over.
I think everyone's being doomed right now, though, on Twitter. I'm trying to bring something new here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where everybody, as far as the podcast,
gotcha.
right? You're all like, this is so positive. We've been here before. Like, that's the problem, man. That's the problem. Tired of this. We've been here before. We're always here. You know why? And you said why.
Yeah.
Because we live here.
No, we know
Nintendo blows. We're sitting there. I'm sitting there at I was at a Capcom Cup watch party, right? I'm chilling. They're doing the announcements about Capcom Cup next year. I said, "Oh, this looks great! Like, wow, there's a bunch of online and offline. Wow, that's really sick. If only our online was great. You know, we could have online anyway. We're just gonna keep it moving. It's for they get paid. What the prize pool is? What? How much money? Capcom
$2 million.
like bro,
1 million first, yeah.
And then we're sitting here and right after that, like a week later, 2 weeks later, you just see Infinite Orgs dropping people. Right before that, we had a world tour that was building toward money. World tour's gone. Everything's just, and I'm just sitting here like, here we go again, man. It's all good. We'll rebuild, and it's fine. We'll rebuild. And then we'll hit the same point that we always hit. And it's going to be even harder to rebuild because people are going to be less willing to take the gamble on Smash, knowing that there's no Nintendo developer support. It's going to be really frustrating trying to keep it up. And it's like, bro, But yes, of course, we will go to tournaments still. We will still have our locals. We'll still have regionals. We'll still have super majors. People will be interested in them. All those things will still happen, but it is so frustrating because, you know, as Charles said, I've been competing for 15 years, right? And like I started with Brawl when a large tournament was 100 people, right? Now a large tournament, like a really large tournament, is like, you know, 2,000 people, right? So obviously there's been a lot of growth, a lot more interest, and just technology's changed, the economy's changed, obviously. A lot of things have changed, but just like it's one step forward, 10 steps back over and over again just feels so annoying. And obviously it's not 1 in 10, like I'm exaggerating, but I don't know. It's just really frustrating sometimes. In the end, of course, we'll be fine. Like BTS, it sucks that they're gone. Sucks that VG's gone. Sucks that Panda's gone. Sucks that, you know, like it. But I'm sure there'll be somebody else in the future who's passionate Super Smash Brothers. If they make another Super Smash Brothers, and let's say in some weird world, Nintendo's like, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to put some eggs in the Super Smash Brothers basket on the Nintendo switcheroo, like whatever, right? Like the next console.
Good idea, bro.
Wait.
Whatever,
The
right?
switcheroo.
I'm down with the switcheroo, first off.
Okay.
Did you just come up with that, or have you thought of that?
I did. No, I literally just came up with that.
Hire this man.
But let's say they decide to like put some eggs in that basket, then sure, I'm sure droves and droves of organizations and all that will like come back.
Yeah.
But even just with like if they announce a new Smash game, because you got to remember this game's kind of old for like a newer title. Like Melee obviously lives forever, but this game is like reaching. It's at 5 years. It's going on, like, you know what I mean? It's starting to get in that older phase where not just like people just lose interest in stuff over time. They find new things they enjoy. So I could see why some investors would be like, you know, more hesitant or whatever. But it just blah blah blah. It just sucks to see. That's all. Doom guy. My bad.
You mentioning like developer support and like a potential new game is a good transition into the Steve stuff at the moment.
True.
Because so basically I want to try to like lay down the foundation of what I think is the best case scenario for us at the moment in terms of the actual video game itself. So with the Steve stuff, like, people are suggesting like a ban, right, with this new technique that I'm not going to dive too much into. Um, and that's really rough timing right now because now as a community, we're talking about banning a character or not while orgs are dropping players, while um, organizations are shutting down in general. So it is like the worst possible situation for us to have this problem in game as well. Because all of these things are dividing the community, right? So it just makes it really difficult. Um, so what I was wanted to say was, in terms of the best case scenario, is a new title or new patches or more content in general. It is the best thing to happen at a time as desperate as this, and this also helps me transition into the conversation of do we ban Steve or not. Um, and I want to suggest this because I haven't really seen it in the discourse in the community. Is a lot of the DLC characters that were developed over quarantine did not get the same time and attention as others. So they ended up being very strange, like buggy or overpowered. And it's very clear that I would say, I don't want to be too opinionated, but I don't know how else to word it other than saying like there's something wrong with a few of these characters. And it's just, clear in terms of they didn't get the same amount of effort or time or literal amounts of people working on them. And that's sucks because COVID affected everyone and everything. And I think it's important to think of that when it comes to deciding a ban of the character, and because we have to take it into our hands because there's no bans, there's no patches, there's no new content. So I think we have to do something to at least try to see if Nintendo is willing to help us out. Um, if we ban some of these characters that were clearly not didn't get enough time put into them, and I'm not blaming them for that. COVID was really rough, but it's why the characters are so unbalanced or overpowered or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's something that I haven't seen considered. And if we take it into our own hands, maybe the best case scenario is more likely to happen. But basically, what I'm saying is, yes, I think this is the best time to take action and to actually do something for once, because there's starting to become no other path.
Yeah. Yeah, if I could jump in, that's essentially exactly what I was going to say, where it's like, bro, Phil, God bless him, tweeted, don't ban Steve, you pussies. I say, ban him, otherwise we are pussies. You gotta try something. You gotta do something, because if we don't do anything, nothing's gonna change at this point. It's not going to. And Nintendo, I think even in their last tweet about patches, said that they would be open to emergency patches. I think they know, like, it seems like from the direct, Steve was a very complex character for them to program. Like, probably the most complex character they've ever put. They had to
far.
They had to change other stages, like just so that his blocks would work and stuff like that. There are probably different dimension changes, is what I was thinking behind that. They had to bring in Microsoft coders, I think, to make him work. So I think it's understood that this could potentially happen. Something like this new tech or exploit or whatever you want to call it, that exists now. And I think that again, let's bring it back to the main topic we said earlier. We've all been around the scene before. We saw what characters do to certain Smash games when they're not, nerfed or outright banned, and we just sat back and kind of let it happen. The only time we really made a change, non-melee, of course, because they did plenty to like ice climbers and stuff like that. The only time that the current gen Smash community has made a change was banning Double Cloud in doubles. That's the only one I can really think of. And banning Diddy for like that 1 week where he had that broken thing where he couldn't get grabbed. Do you remember that? It was like, I forgot about it until people started tweeting about it, but that happened.
Patch Diddy, Smash 4.
Yeah. And so I think I completely agree. I think we try a ban. A ban doesn't mean forever. Hey, fuck it. Let's bring him back. Like, it's no big deal. I think for the overall health of the game, for the viewership of the game, for people trying to stay healthy and going to locals and not getting frustrated with the game, Steve was already on thin ice. And I think people were looking for a fucking reason, and then this happened, and it's like, wait, this is actually kind of legit. Let's run with this. Let's strum him up on all these charges, like get him out of here. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Get him all out. And so the second his toe crossed the line, even a little bit, get him out. Like, that was it. So I'm actually proud of the community for doing something. That's how I feel. And I'm not saying like ban him forever and he's never going to come back, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm sorry for all the Steve mains. Like that sucks. But the best case scenario, and I agree with you 100%, Gavin, is that it gets Nintendo involved again. Because if I'm Microsoft and I see my character, Steve, one of the biggest, characters of all time, is not being allowed in tournaments, why is that? Oh, because of this? We can fix that. No big deal. Let's get him back in tournaments. Let's go. It's good press for everyone. So I think it could be a dub and not something they've said they are adverse to. They've said that they would be open to other patches and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I think it's really important.
So too, man.
Sorry to interrupt. I think it's really important to maybe look at a bigger picture here, because I think the main discourse is this tech really as good as everyone's saying? Is it worse than people are saying? Is Steve ban-worthy? How does Steve compare to other Smash games? And if you're doing this, I don't think it reaches the bigger picture, and I think you're kind of arguing in circles a lot of the time. Because what's the point? What do you gain from comparing Steve to a previous Smash game? Or what do you gain from deciding just how good the tech is or not? I think, we've encountered so many problems with Steve, like genuine like bugs and exploits and just, that I think it's worth looking at the bigger picture in terms of something that can help the game, not just getting Steve patched or banned, is, kind of using Steve as a scapegoat to see if we can get like a cleaner version of Smash Ultimate.
Yeah.
And
in that way, sorry to interrupt you, Steve could save Smash. Look at it that way.
Exactly.
Look at it that way.
He doesn't have to be the villain, right?
Nah.
He could be the hero. Hey, they go in there, they buff Sephiroth a little bit, now we're all Cat gets a buff, everyone's feeling good.
Yeah,
Fox
that's
gets
what
nerfed,
I'm trying to say. Like, with the Fighter Pass, like scheduling, we had a certain amount of characters, we had a certain like time frames when they would be released and revealed, and COVID really messed with that, right? And that led to some of these characters being rushed, despite a lot of effort and passion put into them, because Steve being in the game in the first place was such a daunting task, or like Sora or whatever. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling a bit, but I think it also led to not enough patches being made, or you know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't work for Nintendo or anything. Like, I don't know when the next console's planned. I don't know if Smash is going to be a new title. I don't know if there's going to be more Smash Ultimate content. But I think for the competitive integrity of the game, I think we have to do something, and hopefully that strings along a process that can help us. Because I'm a competitor first. If there was a tournament every day and like Smash was the biggest esport ever, I would, I want to just win. I don't want to ban Steve because it feels wrong to like not give my opponent an option. I don't want to ban Kazuya. And I've had this conversation privately with like friends or like B, just because, it's a topic that comes up, but I don't like to talk about it too much on camera, just because it's difficult. You're always walking on ice.
Mm-hmm.
And I always said no. I've said no on the podcast. I've always said, but I think this time it's different, and it's not necessarily because of how strong or weak the tech is. It's a bigger picture.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chuck. Go ahead. I already went off, Chuck. Go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the bigger picture thing is very important. When we first talked about this 8 months ago, I know Haz made a tweet and it like squared off like the 8 months ago we were talking about banning Steve, but that was without this exploit. I do think the exploit is very game breaking. I know we're trying to be like bigger picture and stuff. I'm down to talk about the nitty gritty and how fucked up this shit is, because it is over the top. This isn't like I'm just getting 0 to death. And you got to realize, since all the points that Tweek brought up earlier of like this character didn't get as much like maybe play testing time, or like just the community have their hands on it for so long, we already knew the can of worms Steve was going to bring to the table. Right when Steve released, we all kind of like surface level. Not a lot of people thought he was strong, but it was all, there was always an asterisk, right? I mean, well, like most of the community, I would say, was like, oh, there's like low mobility. We didn't know all the nil stuff. We didn't know all the tech, right? When Steve released, it was kind of like, oh, minecart's kind of crazy, right? And then, but the big caveat and the big asterisk was like, it depends on what tech this character has. The tech will bring, and if Steve had no tech, he would still be really strong. But like the nil combos and like all the technical stuff with blocks, because when you make a character that builds terrain into the game, which has never happened before, like Hydrant, Pac-Man Hydrant is like the one caveat. But for the most part, there's no character that can just build a bunch of terrain, right? And with that comes a lot of glitches or exploits, right? And it's very clear in Ultimate, like in Brawl, it's hard to argue this because a lot of characters had exploit and there was global exploits, right? And there was no patches, so it was very clear. It's like, oh, okay, well, there's exploits, whatever. Melee, there's exploits, whatever, right? Ultimate, they go out of their way to take exploits out. Like in the demo version at E3, Void told the Nintendo reps about shield dropping. They took it out of the game.
Void, are you serious? I love.
He tried to tell them to make
bro.
it easier. Same.
Void, you Jim, are you serious?
They would have taken it out anyway. They would have taken it out anyway. Like they would have found out. But like it is very clear in Ultimate that they don't want exploits to be part of the game. Steve is one of the few characters that still has exploits, where all these other characters were under a microscope for like, 2-3 years, right? And got all their exploits taken away. But Steve still has his exploits, which is like, okay, we're kind of teetering the line, right? And now this exploit comes out. This exploit is extremely fucked up. Essentially, if you don't put Steve in a tumble, he can cancel the hit stun. And guess what? It works for multi-hits. So even if Steve's at like 100 and you hit a Polunair, you essentially cannot use that move against Steve anymore. You're breaking the game. You are getting reversaled for winning neutral. You know what I mean? And there's some scenarios where that happens, but like if it's like, oh, Steve can reversal you off of it and like minecart you, right? Like you're getting into the territory. And here's another caveat too. We've had techniques that have been banned before. So Brawl, Meta Knight could infinite dimension cape. So you could dimension cape and never reappear again. You could win neutral one time, disappear, and time your opponent out for 8 minutes or whatever, right? But it's very clear when Meta Knight is using dimension cape. He's not on the screen. It is very clear.
He's not there,
when he's literally not there. It's very clear when someone wobbles you in Melee that you're getting wobbled, right?
Popo and Nana are just beating your ass.
Yeah, they're just beating your ass. Ultimate, you cannot, I guarantee you, if you try to ban the technique itself and you even review replays, I'm not trying to be mean, but a lot of multi-hits are inconsistent anyway in Ultimate. I see Steve fall out of multi-hits all the time. I see any character fall out of multi-hits all the time. Where Steve's using the tech, I mean, maybe they accidentally were, but what if they weren't? What if Mars is using zero suit forward air against Steve off stage and he falls out once? He's like, oh, cool, ban this guy. Ban him. Like, get him out of the tournament. Damn. He used the thing, I want the game win. There's a lot of characters, and I mean, I guess that's kind of justice for all the characters that their moves don't work or whatever, right? You finally get these W's on Steve. But you see what I'm saying? This is a very complex tech to try and like watch a replay and try to figure it out.
And logistically at majors, it's hard enough to get pool captains to just say yes or no to somebody winning a set or what the set count was. You don't get that shit. How are they? You're expected. All right, you're running a pool. There's 20 competitors in it, and you got 5 matches going on at once. 2 of them say that the Steve they're playing against cheated. You're gonna sit there and watch 2 replay? Like what the? You just held up the whole fucking pool. Like what? Just and to Chuck's point, to do what? To look and see if a multi-hit didn't work. So long story short, I'm proud of the community for taking some action, because another counterpoint I see a lot is, well, we didn't ban Bayo, and she was worse than this. We didn't ban Meta Knight.
Should have banned Bayo.
Well, we should have fucking banned them, okay? Well, we should have, and now we're not making that mistake again, so get over it. Like, it is what
and
it
we
is.
did ban Meta Knight, but...
Yeah, well, that bit us in the ass. But we wouldn't have known that if we didn't try, right? You had to try it. You had to try it. So
I mean, I also kind of feel like the same thing is going to happen with that Meta Knight thing, which is kind of frustrating, but the only way we can ban Steve is if everywhere bans Steve. And if the best player in Japan plays Steve and they don't ban Steve and then we hold a major, they're either not going to come or we're just going to not ban Steve for that super major or whatever. He's going to come over and just cook everybody, and we're going to be like, bro, what happened? Well, we don't play against the character anymore. So that is something that that could be a cause and effect type thing. I'm just over it, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, we've been talking about banning Steve for like it has to be like 2 years. Like we might be on like year 2 of talking about banning Steve. Like either just do it or don't. Like we're just talking. Yeah, maybe we should ban him. A lot of people are quitting. Man, more and more people are quitting.
Yeah.
Dang it, man. My whole scene's dying. My scene dead. It's because of Steve. Oh well, we should have banned him. Like, bro, like just do it. Like
That's
like
what I'm saying.
there's so many. I get it in other games, right? Like let's use Brawl, right? Meta Knight was ridiculous. We should have banned Meta Knight. Ice Climbers also probably should have been banned. Whatever. Those two were like out of this world, but there were also like what, like maybe 30 characters in that game. There's like 80 something characters in this game. If Steve gets banned. If Steve gets banned and you just suddenly hate Ultimate, you didn't like Ultimate. You just like Steve.
Yeah.
You know how I know that? Because in Smash 4, if Bayonetta would have gotten banned, I would have just played someone else. I hated Smash 4, but I still would have played someone else.
Yeah.
If you are saying, oh my gosh, man, like Steve's that's the only reason I play this game, then you don't like the game, and that's fine. But don't try to pretend like we're like some super villains because oh my gosh, you're getting rid of my favorite character. Like you don't like the game. What?
We also don't want to, or at
Yeah,
least
it's not
I
like
don't want to.
It's not.
I really
it's
don't.
not like we're trying like you Steve players, all of you. We need to get rid of you. No, man. Like
Competitive integrity we're looking after. Like that's the main thing.
I don't like it, at the end of the day, there are probably still matchups that Steve will struggle with, right? Like Min Min is hitting Steve from across the stage. Whether or not you cancel a ram hit or something, it doesn't matter, right? Like that's not changing too much. He's probably still gonna have some rough matchups, but it's more about logistically, like you can't just stare at every single set, replay every set. Tournaments are gonna take too long. There's just too many things that the character would cause a problem with, and you really could just pick another character. Yes, I know the years and years of work sucks, and it sucks to feel like you have years and years of work taken away. Hey, we talked about that earlier in this episode. It happens. It happens in life. You have setbacks in life. It happens in Smash. You're gonna just have to kind of get used to it and learn how to work around it. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
And you're not the only person dealing with it too, because players switch characters from patches.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
That's
that's
true,
a
too.
very, very common thing. Poor DeBuzz, Olimar was crazy year one, right? And then
I'm
you know
right
what I mean?
here.
Like look at Void's Pichu, Tweek's
Oh my
Wario, right?
gosh.
Like
Wario,
Pokemon Trainer,
PP.
right? Like Ivysaur. Yeah, there's a lot of things that players had to switch over to another character. Trust me, Steve Mains, you're not the only one. This has been going on for years. Okay,
Yeah.
boo-hoo. Just pick another character. If you are
Jeez.
good at Smash and
Yep.
fundamentally sound, you can transition.
Or not.
Bro,
right?
I
Just
went
pick
into
Kazuya.
Smash. I went into Smash Ultimate with 3 Smash mains. All of them were way worse.
Yeah.
All 3 of them got buffed. I had no idea that was going to happen, but I had to start from scratch,
Um.
and I had three characters. Like I had 3 cases of insurance, and I was not down for any of them.
Yeah. Well, see you, Steve. That's what we got to say.
Yep. See ya. Oh well.
See you, Steve.
And it's just more so of like, we might as well give it a shot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it makes sense on every single department. If we don't ban Steve now, we will never. If we don't ban Steve right now, we will never ban Steve.
Agreed.
Ever. Like unless there's just some glitch where he does some block thing and your opponent's stock disappears. Like all 3
Yeah,
just hey,
or-
and it's this game. Like if
Or, like,
we
he
don't
can
ban
freeze
this
the
character now
opponent.
and just to see what we can, like, we might be able to get a patch out of this. Like,
I hope
we
so.
need to use this opportunity to try and fix this game for the competitive integrity. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Stop being so
It
selfish,
is
Steve, man.
so easy.
All right.
It's so
I didn't
easy.
say all that, but
I'm saying it. I'm
God,
saying it. I'm just kidding.
my bad.
Well, the funny
You're
thing is
not.
that I feel like he's kind of been on the decline recently too. But at the same time, the most important thing is the health of the scene, right? And if at some point, dude, not only that, but that scene, what was it, the Texas local, had just been randomly like, "Hey, this week we're banning Steve. This week we're banning Kazuya." It's like, all right, they banned Rob. They were like, "Fuck it, no one wants to play against Rob. We're getting rid of that guy." It's like, all right, well,
Yeah,
hold
they're
on a
chilling.
second. Yeah, they are. It's okay. and that's the thing is like, there's always this isn't like a forever decision. This is just like we need to do something. And I'll bring it back to my main point. EE said we're being pussies for banning Steve. I think it's the opposite. I think we're awesome for banning Steve. I think doing something is way cooler than not doing anything and just bitching and complaining. So good shit.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
All
We'll
right.
reevaluate in a month. Who cares?
Final topic of today
Oh boy.
is the official Smash Ultimate tier
Official.
list.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it a few more times. Official.
It's
this
official.
Is real. This is official, and it is accurate.
Right. Exactly. So Sephiroth is
I feel like
good.
he's only
Yes.
Now show it on the screen.
Yes. Sephiroth is
he's
great.
only saying that because
We
of Fox's placement on the
knew
tier list.
Diddy Kong
No.
was broken. We knew Sephiroth was good.
I knew Palutena was worse than Diddy Kong.
Me too.
And
Agreed.
Midnight, and Pikachu, and Pac-Man, and Snake. And
Wait,
know
why
about
don't we
that.
do one of these as Tweek
I don't
Talks,
know
dude?
about
We
it.
should do a community tier list for us. Official Tweek Talks tier list.
Steve
Oh,
Oh,
you
yeah,
did that.
one.
Thank you, Chris. All right, so it's on the screen. So let's all talk about our. First off, it was like 70 something out of 100 of the top 100. To clarify
Where'd it
for the
go?
listeners and viewers, I was not one of these people.
Really?
We know, bro. Sephiroth's too
This
high.
tier list is not my fault.
Okay.
Hmm.
What is? Let's
I,
go around.
I heard you're pretty good. I heard you're pretty good at the game, though, Gavin.
I'm actually being so like stupid, but I think this is a great idea. I think it was. I'm sure it was a lot of effort. Shout outs to Ultra Rank, I think is what it's
Yeah.
called. Shout outs to everyone who made their tier list. Like that's a lot. This is good data regardless. And there's some good things about the tier list, but obviously it's kind of bad too.
Yeah. Okay.
There's
so
some good ones and some bad ones.
I have it pulled up. What is the first? Let's go around the horn here and talk about the first thing that jumps out to everyone.
Fox.
First thing that jumps out to me is Zero to Death bot character is worse than Yoshi.
Which I was gonna say Yoshi is 1,000%.
Yoshi is number one. Like, it's not just that Yoshi's up there; it's who is below Yoshi.
Exactly, and
Like,
literally
that is
literally
crazy.
next to him, Mario, Lucina.
Mario, one of the
E.T..
best characters in the game.
Mario's too low in general, though. Is how I feel.
And then obviously, I look at my characters. Right, I look at Diddy, and I see all these like game-breaking top-tier characters are worse than him. It's crazy.
Well, that's because he's one of them.
Yep. Agreed.
Gavin, I literally go on my menu and turn off items. Guess what he does? He breaks the game. There they are. There's an item. I turn that shit
Yeah.
off.
I hate holy water, and like it's just crazy.
Yeah, Holy Water's
Yeah,
so
man.
cringe, dude.
It's so
Yeah.
broken, right? Dude,
Yeah.
it's
It,
so
it
bad.
actually
is
is
the thing about
very
it.
broken.
That
No,
item
it's
is crazy.
not. Broken isn't shitty, yeah. Like a broken
What?
car. Like, this sucks. It's so bad, dude. Holy water?
It's better than Gordo. Gordo's a pretty shitty move. Though.
Yeah,
I don't know
like
about
my
that.
top 12 character
I don't know
gets
about that.
7-3'd by.
Wait, what? You think Gordo's better than?
Yeah, bro, play against
Holy
Mars
water?
with holy water, you'll cry. It's useless. It's actually
Yeah.
terrible.
Use it when
Diddy
you're
Kong.
supposed to, when they're on the ledge. What?
That's it.
This isn't
That's why
time
I
for
only use-
Belmont discussion. This is about Diddy Kong. So
It's
Diddy
It's not
Kong
about
is
Diddy Kong. It's about the entire tier list.
12th in the game,
What's
despite
going on?
despite losing to Pac-Man 99-1 and a C- character 99-1. How do I lose?
Are you talking
How do
about
I
Belmont, by the way?
How do I struggle with characters in D
Wait.
tier yet I'm top 12 in the game?
Oh, because
Wait.
Doc beats Diddy.
I struggle with characters in C plus tier. What's going on here?
Which C? Which
It's
C?
not, it's
tier
not
character
just
are you
about
talking
Min
about?
Min,
Oh,
brothers.
Jigglypuff is right there, bro.
No, I mean Gavin.
Bro, I get farmed by Jigglypuff too. I don't, but
Huh?
Which character in C tier beats Diddy?
Duck Hunt,
Duck Hunt.
Oh, I didn't see him in C
Villager
tier.
wins.
Lucario.
Low key.
He does lose to Lucario.
Like, how am I S tier?
This game is so balanced. Is the
So
thing.
I just want to say, I'm gonna be a little arrogant.
Oh,
We know
no.
why this character is 12th.
I mean, S tier, to be fair, is top 20.
We know
So
why
just
this
for our
character is S
audio
tier.
only,
Yeah,
for our audio only listeners, S tier on
Also-
this official tier list is top 20.
20
So
characters
that is a
S tier. LOL.
I mean, there's a S plus, S, and S minus, but yeah,
Yeah.
Diddy is an S minus.
You know what
That's
I'll
a
say
lot.
about a positive thing? I like Snake's placement. I like how high they put Snake. I
Yeah,
think that's
I'll say
great.
what I
think
like
that's
about
great.
this tier
I
list.
think
The
that's
top
great.
5 is pretty solid.
Oh my, no, it's not, man.
Top
It's
5 for the
not.
record.
The top
in,
4 is fantastic.
in
Okay.
order, the top 5.
See,
is
so the top
Steve,
5 is pretty good.
Steve, Aegis, and Joker are in their own S+ tier. Then
Yeah.
the next tier down, which is just
Agreed.
regular S. The next two are Sonic and Fox.
So here's what I think about the S plus. You can either put Joker into S or you can put Sonic into S plus. If you're gonna,
I was gonna
keep
say
Joker
Sonic
in
into S plus.
Yes,
I think Sonic goes up.
I think
to S+,
those
in my opinion.
plays. You either take Joker down to S or you keep Joker in S and you put Sonic in S plus.
Here's one that I think is a fun debate. Is right after that Fox placement is Rob and Kazuya in that order. Do you think Rob is above Kazuya?
No, I don't think
I
Rob
don't
is
think
above
so
most
either.
of these characters in S. I think Rob is lower than most characters in this tier.
I think
Also,
Roy, I think
There
Roy
is
should
no
watch it.
universe where Game & Watch can be an S tier character. That is
Agreed.
psychotic.
Agreed.
That is actually insane behavior by the people who made this.
Totally agreed. Totally agreed.
Well, you got to
How-
think. Here's.
How is Game &
go
Watch
ahead.
S tier?
I agree.
you-
I don't think
You
Game
want
Watch
to talk
is S
about
tier.
losing to C and D tier list characters? There he is. There's your guy.
Yeah, this
Okay,
character
okay,
gets
wait,
farmed
wait,
by like
wait.
Ike.
Wait.
He does.
All
Get
right,
farmed
let's
by-
not use let's try not to use like S tier and use like top 15, top 10, top 20 because
Yeah.
I could see Game Watch being a top 19 character.
Look who
No.
he's above, though. Look who he's above.
No.
There's no way. There's no way he's above Mario, Lucina, Wario, PT. I like the Samus placement too. Samus is in
No.
that category too.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, you
Sam-
think
regular
Samus is worse than
Samus?
that?
Also, Terry is pretty low.
So low.
Ryu is also
Terry's-
a little low.
Sheik is very low.
Sheik is obscenely
Mega Man
low.
is way too
Let's
low.
wait. We got
Honestly-
audio only. We got audio only listeners. Remember, so
Yeah.
Sheik is next to Ken on the tier list. Actually, lower in an A minus.
All
tier.
A minus. Yeah. A minus.
Mega
minus.
Man is almost like mid.
Yeah. So I'll run through it real quick for the audio only. So you got Steve, Pyramithra, and Joker in S+. Sonic, Fox. This is all in order. Sonic, Fox, Rob, Kazuya, Roy, and Peach in regular S. And a Cloud is too low here too. How is he not in S? S minus is Cloud, Wolf, Diddy, Pika, Pac-Man, Snake, Min Min, Palu, Game & Watch, and Shulk. That's your S tier right there. So that's top 20 we said, right?
Mario not S tier is just crazy.
I know.
It's
Agreed.
crazy.
A plus tier is
Mario.
in order again. A plus, this is right below, is Yoshi first, which is that to me was the first thing that stood out. Mario, Lucina, PT, Wario, regular Samus, then Zero Suit, then Sephiroth, and then A minus tier is Olimar, Young Link, Terry, Sora, Byleth, Greninja, which is also crazy, Ken, Sheik, Ryu, Me Brawler, and Mega Man. And that's all I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna sit here and
Okay,
list
bless.
up the whole
'Cause
thing.
then
Yeah.
after that,
That was-
it doesn't
yeah,
matter.
like,
It's like
we
five.
get-
A
we
tier
that.
is
I don't know
so
anything
whack.
about
A
this.
tier is extremely whack. I don't know
tier lists
what
are
the
really
fuck
hard
is
to
going
make.
on in A tier.
Me Brawler is wild in that
Kazuya
spot.
alone makes a tier list like impossible to make. What do you do?
Agree-
with Kazuya?
Actually, I'm
Yeah,
the
that's a
same
good
way with
point.
Kazuya. I have no idea where to put him.
I'd rather
I don't know
Kazuya
Kazuya
what
just.
value.
either.
I don't want to rank Kazuya. It's impossible.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, that's the best character in the game. Or other times I'm like,
He's
I
trash.
guess he's like top 20. Like it's like this
Yeah.
weird thing. Like I don't know.
He and I think it's one of those what do you value type situations, right? Which is why I thought it was so interesting that Rob and Kazuya landed next to each other because Rob is so consistent. Like you go to a top 64, top 128 of a major, you see
Yeah.
5-6 Robs, right? Actually, Kazuya's been picking it up a little bit in that department too. I feel like you've seen a couple more pop up, but traditionally there's only like a couple, like a handful. And it's usually Riddles is one of them. You know what I mean? There's a couple of top Rob reps that could make it that far. So it's interesting.
I guess I'll just say a couple points. So first
boy.
off, I think there's a few characters better than Yoshi. I think Terry's
few?
I think Terry's pretty low.
Yeah,
I think Ryu is a better character than Ken.
agreed.
I think Sheik is a top tier character.
Agreed.
I think Mega Man should at least be a little bit higher. What else?
Sora too. Sora should be
Sora
higher
is
as
so
well.
low. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Lucina's
Sora-
placement? What the fuck?
I think
I don't hate
Sephiroth
that.
is a little too high as well. I think there's a handful of characters better than Sephiroth.
Oh, I don't know. Actually, this tier list is pretty accurate now that I'm looking at it.
Just like
Um,
the A plus range is like really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
then
I know,
after
Gavin,
that,
you
it
were
just
talking about. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
it gets a little weird after that. I have a couple of my own opinions, but yeah, that's about it. Yeah,
Also, I think Wii Fit is weirdly high on this list. Like above
that character
Rob.
is so broken.
I don't know about that one.
Pitt and Marth are pretty low for a character as solid as them.
Mhm.
Corrin is pretty low, but maybe not. I don't know.
Uh-uh.
You want to know something really interesting about this list? See, if you like read, there's like a whole article about it. But you know that multiple people that did this list put Bayonetta in the top 5.
What?
Yeah, she's the lowest ranked
Are
character.
they like anonymous?
Yeah,
Shout out
What?
to EU. Shout out to Bloom.
There's a mystery.
Someone from
That
Texas
is-
is voting.
Very
That is
questionable.
crazy.
Because I don't care how optimistic you are about Bayo. There is no fucking way.
The
that
top
character
5 is
top 5.
your character is never top 5 unless you're playing one of the obvious top 5s. Like top
Yeah.
5 is a very special group of characters.
The only argument you can make in top 5 is potentially the 5th slot being open,
Yes.
and maybe generously the 4th slot, maybe if you're being very generous. But
Yeah,
top
so
3
your
In my
character
opinion,
has
the 5th
like
slot is the only one.
the smallest
I think
chance.
so too. I think so too. But
If your character is top tier, you have like one possible spot you can sneak into. Like you're not the best, you're not top 4.
No.
Well,
like
no.
even with those top 5 placements, Bayo still only ended up in B plus tier, so probably evened
Yeah.
out somewhere. I think she might be like she's B plus or A minus. I'd say like I think she's good,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
A minus
solid,
sounds
yeah.
better for some
Rob
reason.
is very high. Peach making a really high appearance.
Shout out to Mute.
Roy staying above Cloud. I think
What's
Roy and
going on?
Cloud are kind of like always fighting in the tier list placement.
Ah,
And I've heard a lot of
not anymore.
So it's weird. The general public thinks lower of Cloud than the top players, I think. Whenever I see Cloud, I see some people think Cloud is too high.
What?
Yeah.
For me, when I watch a really good Roy, when I watch Salt One or when I watch Goblin, they steal stocks at like 50 or 60 sometimes, and that's really
Sometimes.
cool. When I watch Cloud, when I watch Spargo, fucking impossible to hit him. Fucking impossible to do anything against him. Like, it just feels hopeless.
I think
What's
Wolf
different?
is too high.
Wow.
Damn.
Damn.
I think Diddy is way too high. There's a bunch of characters better than Diddy that are right next to him. Who here thinks
Inman is
who,
way too
who
low.
in this call
Way too-
Huh?
who in this call thinks Pac-Man is worse than Diddy Kong?
Last time we did a tier list, I
Raise
had
your hand
Pac-Man
if
in
you
top
think
5.
Diddy is better than Pac-Man.
This is a trick question. Don't do it. He'll kick you off the podcast.
No
I
one's
would do
answering
it. If I thought it was true, I would do it. But I think Pac-Man's so good.
Yeah, I don't
All right,
I
next.
value
I'm gonna keep going. Who in this
That's only 2 slots. That's not that big of a deal.
who in this podcast thinks
Uh-oh.
Diddy is better than Pikachu?
Oh, definitely not.
Not even fucking close.
You're talking to the right crowd for that one, for sure.
Who in this podcast thinks Snake is worse than Diddy Kong?
It's close.
All right, I'm gonna
No,
stop
it's
now.
not.
It's
I'm gonna
close.
Close. Hey, that's a great stopping point. I agree.
B
Minmin
just
was next.
raised her hand, by the way.
Yeah.
Like over there.
I think it's
Wait,
close.
who's better, Diddy or Minmin? Diddy or Minmin?
I'm
Minmin's better
not
than Diddy,
gonna
for
do
sure.
this. I
Diddy
am
Kong.
not
Come on.
doing this.
Diddy Kong.
Min?
Diddy Kong.
All right. It was
I
a
think
good
Minmin's better than
episode,
Diddy.
y'all.
Come on. Come on.
Okay. I think Min is okay. I don't say this publicly. I think Min is like one of the best characters in the game. Honestly,
Yeah.
I think she's like.
Yes.
I think she like I'm looking at this tier list. Okay, so let's say Steve, Aegis, Joker, Sonic. I actually think she's better than Fox, but I don't think Fox is that good. But like he's very good, but
Thank
not
you.
like super good.
He's
I
very
think she's
good.
better than Rob. She's not better than Kazi. I think she's better than Roy. I think she's better than Peach.
Wait.
I think she's better than Cloud. So I don't know. I think she's like 6 or
Since-
7.
Yeah.
I honestly think she's like absolutely insane. I just think there's one in the world
2 or
that
3 characters.
no, it's like
Yeah.
one person in the world that like shows like how obscene that she really is, and he doesn't even like completely show it.
Yeah.
Like that character, like she literally the game starts and you're just playing on her terms. It's so stupid. Like she just forces you to do certain things, and all you have to do is be able to capitalize on it. She
Yeah.
does have like I think she only really has 2 bad, like awful matchups, like 2, and
That's
that's
really
it.
good.
I think she can.
What
beat
are they?
pretty much Jigglypuff and Sheik. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Like
What about Fox Roy? Are those
I-
more like minus
I-
ones in your opinion?
I think she beats Roy, and I think Fox slightly wins.
Damn.
Well, since we're so smart, this top 5, I think we all agree it's Steve Age's Joker for top 3, right? So
in
Yeah,
any
I
order,
mean,
I think
Oh
I
my
agree
gosh,
with
you
this
might put
order.
Sonic in there. Like,
It might be Sonic instead of Joker.
all right,
It's-
that's fine.
fine.
Those four.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I think those
wait,
are
we,
interchangeable.
So do
yeah.
we agree on those 4 then? Like 100%.
Yes, yes,
Oh,
I
okay.
agree.
So, okay,
I-
that's fine.
I think
Who's
it's
your
the top
5th then? If Fox is such a terrible choice, and I do agree, I don't think Fox is the right choice there for sure. But he's very good. But he's not the 5th.
It's hard. I think it's hard to put a 5th.
Well-
it really feels like value. I mean,
Well,
okay, low key, because I just looked at it again. Low key, 5th is Chic, but that's a whole nother
Let's
topic
go.
for a
Let's
whole
go.
nother time.
I
A
don't know.
whole nother topic, but low key, the lowest
The
of
lowest
keys.
of keys.
Yeah, no, but not actually Chic. No. Honestly, like, because tier lists are like tournament performance, I would
Yes.
actually probably say Kazi is 5th, just because the effect he has on you in bracket. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I
it-
think he's a good choice. In
I,
the same
I
vein,
personally, my candidates for 5th are Fox, Pikachu,
Yep.
Sheik.
Yep.
That's about it. I would think it would have to be one of those 3 for my 5th.
Truck.
I like consistency. I love it. I love consistency.
Yeah, I used to put like maybe like 1 or 2 years ago, like Wolf and Palu would kind of obtain that slot. I think those characters have fallen off a bit with Fighter Pass 2.
Palutena
and how
is
the
not
meta has
that
gone.
has not fallen off as much as this tier list is saying. By the way, chill out. with
Agreed.
that.
I think she is too low. I still believe it.
Maybe not.
I just
like,
think Wolf
a
really?
significant amount of spots, but she's probably a little too low.
not for 5th. Not for 5th, but I still believe in
Yeah.
Wolf as a character in general. Like
Yeah,
I just think he's the hardest spacey to play in the game. But I would put characters like Pika, Pac-Man would be a contender for me.
Pac-Man
I agree.
probably
Yeah.
probably not for 5th, but I always think about it.
Yeah, like he's up there. I can't put Sheik there. I think very highly of Lucina. I would
What?
have her as like a 5th
low
yes, I
key,
think
Marth
she's
is better, but
fucking
it's
broken.
all
Oh my
good.
god, not this.
I think
Dude,
Cloud and
I-
Roy are better, and I think Shulk is better.
Bro, talk about tournament performance. I almost want to put Cloud as my 5th. Like, just he's so consistent.
He's very
So
good.
good. He's
I-
not hard to play.
But whenever I watch Spargo, like he's abusing Cloud, but I also just see him outplay the fuck out of people. Like
I
I'm
do
just
think-
watching him
Oh,
play
this is not taking
play
anything
way
from
faster.
Spargo.
I'm not saying you guys are, but I'm just saying like when I watch Spargo play Cloud, I'm like, oh, he's paying 2 times faster than his opponent, and he's just hard reading the shit out of them. Like
I do
any
think
character can
Spargo
do that.
is that good, so it
Agreed.
makes placing Cloud pretty hard. Because at
Yeah,
first
but-
I was
like-
more so on like Cloud is crazy, and now it's like rounding out where it's like 50% Spargo, 50% Cloud.
Yeah, but that's the case
Yeah.
with most characters in this spot of the top tier. We wouldn't be saying shit about Sonic if it wasn't for Sonic. Same for Joker and Leo. Same with you and Diddy. Like, this wouldn't be happening.
I thought about.
I don't know about the
I thought
Joker.
Sonic was.
I don't know about the
Joker
Joker
Sonic.
one.
I do. Hell no.
I
Joker,
thought Sonic
on this
was very good
podcast,
from like year
Joker
one.
never left, bro.
Well, no, but I'm saying without Leo, I don't think we would have seen the demon that he is. Like, he'd probably be lower if it wasn't for Leo.
I said Joker is the best character in the game within the first 30 minutes.
Like-
I played.
All right, we also
Yeah,
said
it was like
Sephiroth was
15
top
minutes.
5. We're all wrong. Big
Okay,
whoop.
hold on.
Well, yeah, Sephiroth's way too low. He should be top 10 on this list, y'all.
I don't know
Damn.
about that.
I
Yeah,
also
that
think very
is-
highly of Rob. I know, like,
I
I
do
don't know
too.
about you guys, but I think Rob could be like the 5th spot. I do think very highly of the character in a sense where it's like that character has never been touched and has an extremely high ceiling in terms of like, is another character that can just 0 to death the living shit out of you. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Very-
I think that
very-
character is really strong. You can play really safe. Does
I
very
wish I
well
could
against
just,
Fighter Pass
like,
2.
Transport all of my like Diddy banana item control expertise and just mess with Rob for a little bit in secret and just see what I could pull off. You know what I mean?
You played Rob for like 10 minutes like a year ago, and I was like, this might be the best Rob in the world. It didn't make any sense.
I
You just
think I
said,
suck
I don't
at
know what
it.
I'm doing. Like, what? Just throwing gyro and being Diddy Kong, but Rob. Anywho,
Yeah. So we all agree Sephiroth's 5th, right?
and absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
maybe.
Agree.
That was
Well,
my
he has
worst
Bane?
Smash take.
Yes.
Okay.
ever.
The past few days, I don't know what happened to my Sephiroth,
Well.
but my Sephiroth has been playing the best it has ever played, and I thought it was going to be a one session thing, and I was going to be sad after, but it is like a week
still
straight
cooking?
now, and I don't know
Yeah.
what is going on.
Wow.
Someone needs to help me.
It
process
clicked. You
it.
realize he was good.
I don't know, man. Like
Sometimes a break helps, man. A
I,
little bit
it,
of time away.
I don't know. Like Marcus and I talked about it a little bit. I don't know what happened, but like part of me feels like maybe he caught up to my Diddy a little bit. It's crazy.
Okay, so
That's a
yeah,
lot.
no, very. There will not be a lot of people who will even remotely agree with that. But we have to break it down. Like we can't just say it that way because
Yeah.
absolutely not. No, right? Yeah, skill wise, like there are times where I'm like, why do I feel like your Sephiroth is harder to fight? Like this doesn't make any sense. But I was telling him like expertise wise, I don't think it's even close. Like character mastery wise, no, not at all. There's just like your Diddy Kong, there's like 17 million situations that you just have in your head.
Yeah.
Sephiroth, you might have like a million. Like you're thinking about stuff, but with Diddy Kong, it's like, oh, bro,
Yeah.
I already know everything that can come out of this. Like,
Dude, it reminds me
Sephiroth-
of last time I grinded with Larry. It's like he was kind of chatting with himself a little bit after we were done. He was like, "Oh, so you're not reacting to everything. You just know the next 20 situations or something." Like I don't know how he worded it, but it was so funny cuz it's like he's like talking to himself, like clicking it in his brain. And I was like, "Yeah, I actually don't know if my reactions are like that crazy. It's more so like just situational awareness and like I have a bunch of things prepped all the time." And with Sephiroth, it's definitely like sometimes I'll commit to something and it's like that's it. If it works, cool, and if it doesn't,
Yeah.
I'm screwed. I don't know if that's something I need to learn with Sephiroth or if it's just character limitations, but
yeah.
I know what you mean. With Diddy, it's like I got the whole game planned out as soon as it starts, especially if things go well. Like, but yeah, I think that about wraps it up for today. Lots of stuff
Oh,
to
we still
talk
got to do
about.
B, C, and D tier, right, guys? We got to go over B, C, and
Nah.
D tier.
Ooh,
Oh, what?
I'm so asleep. The only thing about B tier is Martha's in it, and he should be S. See you.
You guys all play S tier characters, by the way. Damn.
Yes.
What
I'm a
about Ganon being the worst
zero.
character in the game? We have to
I
argue
know.
if it's
I play
Ganon or
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth.
Sephiroth. He's
It's
not
little,
S tier.
it's Little Mac. I don't care.
Who cares, man?
It's
I
Little
play
Mac.
Sephiroth. What do you
It's
mean?
one
Why'd
of
you say
them.
I
Who
play S tier?
cares?
It's Little Mac.
Sure.
Thanks.
Mega Man's better than
What
Sephiroth.
about Banjo
All right,
being
have a
in
good
C,
one.
C minus? See,
No more banjo talk. See ya.